go. All right. Well, hello, Phil.
Howdy, Lou.
So, one of your last weeks in Chicago. Somebody said it was your last week, but I think you got till the end of April, right?
Yeah, we move 2 weeks from tomorrow.
All right, all right. I want to make sure we
Yeah,
got you in before you got all hectic with your moving and stuff.
thought about that. I almost was like, actually, probably better if I we did it later, but I always got time for you, Lou.
So, okay. All right. Well, let's see. So I think we got like 37 minutes or so before I'll get cut off. So, and I know, contrary to what Jeff said, he thought like I'd spend about 30 minutes just going over the standings, but I I've got it. I've even have stuff copied to a spreadsheet already, so I won't have to go on Yahoo and like look up players. It's all ready to go.
I did production value. All right. Well,
And
without further ado,
I'm
then
I'm
let's
motivated. I'm
get
motivated.
rolling.
And um, I felt like last week's podcast, if anybody watched it, is sort of like the Easter podcast. It's like the podcast that died for all the other podcast sins. So I went over stuff that I'll never have to go over, never will go over again. I mean, I'll touch base here and there, but it won't be like that. But anyways,
Oh, it was a good refresher.
so I'll just get started sharing my screen, and then you're the guest commentator, and then we'll get into more stuff after that.
Okay.
Like that you were at the impound today, right
It
before
was.
this.
But it turned out they just towed our car like 8 blocks away. Yeah, it was on Milwaukee, and they towed it like down past past the Green Eye. It was like a construction zone, but I just read the little like sign they taped to the post wrong. I thought it ended on the 7th, but it ends on the 27th. But I didn't have to pay any money. I just went down to the lot to find out where they took it. So all's well that ends well. I got some good bike rides in.
Well, when you go in there and you drop, like, name drop a little bit, say like, hey, I'm four-time champion in the beer league. Can you do anything for me?
Yeah.
I own
I
demon
didn't
I own
they
demon
knew right
tap.
away.
I'm in Sybaris. I own demon tap. I mean, like after that they go like, yeah, just let this guy go.
They knew me from the beer league, yeah.
We're sorry, Mr.
Right.
Nauman. We're sorry for the inconvenience. All right, I'll share the screen, and then you do like the guest commentating.
All right.
Uh, well, this would be good if I was faster at this part, but okay, here we go. All right. Are you are you
Ah,
are you seeing it?
yeah, it's right there. Got the butters.
So this
Not
is
too bad.
the glance page, the landing page. I wanted to say that for some reason I forgot to update the Buddha Kings and Lucky Laggards. So we have a new Buddha King, Platinum Sombreros, by a win. And Bizzotti has increased their Lucky Laggard lead to 1.6.
1.6 is a lot for this early.
Yeah, yeah.
Like if that kept going, that'd be like really, really bad. That'd be like many places in the standings.
So, but yeah, so it's a little. I think the laggard, both these things will probably change quite a bit, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And then games played overage is play has tied Spear now at plus 19, and wait till next year. These are all new. Wait till next year is the underage, and gags are the in the middle.
Yeah, wait till next year. I had a few like injured guys. I think he was getting the flow of like getting guys in, and that first year in the league, you got to get a rhythm, especially with like daily lineups.
He got
So
the 4 and
I
2
think
this week,
I
so
think he'll
I
get
was
there.
I was just hoping he would get at least a win, but he got actually 4 wins, so that was a lot better than one. So that's good. So now
Yeah, I
he
bet
can
Mike's.
see. Now he sees that, like, yeah, I can do this. I can go 4-2. I can go 5-1.
Yeah.
The overage, it's knockers barely over the gags, and the cows are 39 under, bakes in the middle.
So I want to mention on that overage. This. Chris had always mentioned this to me. We talked about it before about how and it's proven out when you look month by month. You know, it's cold weather, and usually, so there'll be certain teams that would disagree with me. Um, usually your guys will the ERA is lower for the league on average. Um, when you so he tries to get more innings in early. Um, I'd like to get a lot of innings in early because I don't like falling behind in the standings. Um, and I feel like more people use more innings early. But well, the cows could just be he's got guys on the injured list. So he might be saving some innings for when those guys start coming off. He's got a lot of stashed guys that are gonna start coming off of the injured list pretty soon, I think, for him.
Yeah, I guess for me, I know that theoretically I need to have all these starting pitchers in right now to get to the max, but I know in practice that I usually end up, going to reliever, using it, one, two, three of those spots. Well, in the old days with the lower max, but I fully expect I'll be going one or two anyway toward a reliever by the end of the year. But I like to see it happen first. I don't want to be in August and go like, God, I can't get there, So
Yeah.
I let myself go over now, and then I kind of check it, and and then I'll start switching over, toward
With the
the
rate pitchers are going down, it almost makes you almost think you're gonna have like more experienced guys and pitch them while they're healthy, and then later on in the year you got a lot more kids up or the seventh or eighth guy in the rotation mix pitching. So you want to get you get their best innings early, and then but you still got to compete every week. So it's a nice little puzzle.
I mean, the other way to look at it is like if you wait a little bit, you'll have a better idea who's actually going to pitch well this year. Well, I think you will. I mean, I guess there's plenty of examples where a guy pitches well through May and then doesn't. So, but I think the biggest crapshoot is like right now, right? We're coming out of spring training, and you don't know. Maybe this is the most uncertain time as far as who's going to do well and who is. But that would be that would work against how I do it. So, like
Yeah,
I
I mean
put all
that.
my eggs in the basket early on to know that I'm going to be able to get to the max, and then I start switching over.
Chris had to absorb that Hunter Brown start. They just left him in to take his lumps. I think it was a minus 25.
Yeah,
That
for
last
Hunter
Hunter
Brown. Yeah,
Brown start that he got. Yeah, he really got kicked. And that's from last year. He was getting kicked by his relievers like that.
Freeland got one of his, a bad start for him. That would have been mine. I would have totally picked up Freeland. In fact, I did pick him up after that, and I dropped him. But I
Was
guess
that
for
a home?
me,
Was that at home though in Colorado? I mean, that's
no, they were both away. Both of those
okay.
starts were away, and then I picked him up for I picked him up for the Colorado start. So I'm a brave man, I guess. But he didn't.
Yes.
It was like a single digit start. It was, I guess for Freeland, that's a win, right? If he
Right.
gives you anything positive. So, but anyways, um, and then well, Weekend Warriors were Spear and Weight both tied at +3, and Let's Play lost 3. I think that's the second week in a row that Let's Play has been the straw spinner. Straw spinner being
Yeah.
the opposite of spinning straw into gold. You in this case, you've spun gold into straw. So
Right. And his pitching staffs. John's been lamenting his pitching staff. He went in what I thought was a really good staff. A lot of keepers and good guys, and he's kind of kicking himself over who he kept and who he let get poached. And he's just, I think it's a strong staff, but he's got like Musgrove, for instance, and that's just been, you know,
yeah, well,
uh,
you don't want to make
tough.
rash decisions now, as long as you know everything's okay. Like the guy's not hurt and something like that. But if it's
We
just
got
a,
a
what is it, a 2 or 3 start sample now? 3 starts? I mean, 4 starts? I don't know. But
Lou. Is that a Franzia you're enjoying there?
I'm doing my box. So,
Yeah, yeah. So I mean, Franzia, that's the name, or Almadine,
yeah,
that's another one. They
Boda
make
box.
nicer ones too.
Boda box.
Boda. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I figure why spend the extra money when I can't taste the difference anyway? So
No, there's not a point then. For the for the lucky, my favorite on the BABIPs, and you mentioned it this week. You know, it's fun to look at, but I don't know. I think a lot of players make their own luck. I think if you're gonna do BABIP, like for most people, my argument last year was that it should be adjusted to like their career average or to an average for somebody who has their sprint speed or something like that.
Yeah, I mean,
They should
definitely
have their own.
you could come up with a Nauman, very much improved BABIP based on speed. Well, I mean, it would be based on a lot of things, right? Hitting to the opposite field,
Probably,
contact, how hard your contact is. There's a lot of things that go into it, but I do
mhm.
factor it in. But it's just a prediction model. It's not a. It's just something to look at. But I do think, like I pointed out, that over 14 hitters, it's going to even out more than it will be exposed for one hitter.
Oh yeah, for
And
sure.
pitchers. This is for pitchers too. So this is
Mhm.
combined hitters and pitchers. So you're lucky supposedly, and Capital's unlucky so far. And
Yeah.
I bet you these leaders will change too, because it is sort of a random thing. So
The yeah, and we're both in that predicted top four. Those are some familiar names up top there
yeah,
based on
these
the
didn't
model right
change.
now.
These didn't change. So the prediction model is just like that's it. We're all settled already. 1.5 weeks into
Yeah.
the season now, 2.5 weeks, and it's the same guys. But I don't think that's true either. But
Is that from a certain projection set that you're
that's from
using,
the
or that's
prediction
just
model. Yeah, that's from the prediction model.
gotcha?
And there was something screwy with the prediction model, and I corrected it on here. So if you're watching the podcast, you get to see the right thing. But it didn't affect anybody even to the tenth of a win. It was like about 20 to 25 points for the year, so it didn't really affect anything. But I did correct it, so it'll be right next week, and it's right on here. Whatever you look at tonight will be right.
Lou, what are we paying you for, man?
I catch these things all the time. I go like, wait, that's not right. But I think from last year, we went from 12 to 11 teams, then 11 back to 12. I think more things got screwy than if we had just stayed constant. So hopefully
Oh yeah,
next
that's a
year,
lot of extra back end work for you.
hopefully
Um,
next year it won't. It'll be
I
right from the
saw
get go.
you commented on McBride with having every catcher player of the week so far,
Yeah,
CPOW. But he did have Caber Ruiz went down for him. He went on the 10-day today, so he's got one less potential catcher of the week. So there's a chance, guys.
yeah.
You can
Contreras is
you too
back
can
to
have a
back,
catcher.
back to back. So that's
Yeah.
nice too. One thing that I just thought of too is, and this has been brought before, the weekend warrior and the straw. It's just a fun thing. Obviously, it doesn't mean like your team was not clutch or something. A lot of it could be based on if you have 8 starts over the weekend, you're probably going to be a warrior.
Yeah, yeah, no, that's a
you
lot
have
of it
if
for
you have
sure.
one, you're probably going to be a straw spinner. So I mean, this is just fun. It's not a serious, look at stats, but anyways, but it, you know,
That not a lot of surprises, but that Cowser, I traded him last year because with a name like Cows, of course, I thought he'd be a nice thing to sweeten a deal with Norm. So, but he ended up swinging him out in a deal in spring training out to Sombreros. I don't remember the rest of the trade, but I know that's how Sombreros ended up with Cowser,
oh, so
and
Kaiser
now
was
of
a
course,
cow.
yeah, guy hit
Oh,
4 dingers last week, I think.
yeah.
Um, might be the best week of his life, but he looks like they're not even platooning him against lefties so far. They're letting him try to hit it. I mean they did early on, but they're letting him go. So we'll see if I regret it and if Norm regrets it. But we know sombreros like their prospects. So
Well, the rest of the players of the week, besides Alonso, who I have a hate love relationship with, I can't deny that he's a damn good home run hitter, and he plays almost every day. So I mean, what's not to like? I don't know why I'm weird and that and he plays for the Mets, but why I've never warmed to him. I don't know. It doesn't make any sense.
hmm.
Uh, Middle infield, Altuve and Bobby Witt Jr. shared it. And I think that means they had the same amount of points and the same amount of games. So if one guy has fewer games, I'll give it to him. But couldn't break the tie in
Ca-
this case.
Cage match.
And then Kauser, like you said, for the sombreros, and Jose Barrios 1 R, but actually he's a 2 R guy.
He
But
is.
there we
Don't
go.
tell his
There
dad
we
that you
go.
spelled it wrong. Um, he's one of those guys. Even when he was with the Twins, I think before they kept saying that he'd be the next elite starter, but he kept blowing up and getting control. So I say take it while it's good, but I'm still wondering if Barrios can like hang for a whole season. But he looked pretty good last year, actually. He put
I
it
think
together
he's
pretty good
got the
last
most
year.
points in the league right now. I mean, not just pitchers. I think hitters and pitchers. He's the top guy.
Yeah. Hey, good for Paul.
And then Mitch Keller for Waite. So Waite's got had a good start from Mitch Keller. In fact, a lot of those Pirate starters have done well. Like guys they brought in, veteran guys. And the Pirates are off to a good start, but they lost tonight. They blew a game tonight to the Mets.
Oh wow. I know you're upset about that. Sorry.
Well, it's funny.
Did
I
Diaz
had
get the
I have Martin Perez. So I'm watching him going like it's the fifth inning. He hasn't a lot of run, and I'm like, one more inning, and he gets the quality start, all this stuff. But it blew up.
yeah.
Like he walked some guys, and he was out of there after maybe 5 1/3, and allowed at least
It's
three
one
or
thing I like about the quality start is like I like knowing that you bank those points, You're
yeah,
not
yeah,
it
yeah, yeah.
doesn't hurt
It
quite
doesn't
as
matter
bad
what.
when the bullpen blows it.
Yeah, yeah,
It does make the actual pitcher's ability more important than the team, and it helps, I think.
yeah, yeah. It's not so all or nothing.
I got that young stud Jones on their staff,
Jared
Pittsburgh.
Jones.
Yeah, he's looking pretty sick. He'll probably need Tommy John in a couple of weeks,
Yeah.
but throwing it fast. Yeah, and Suarez, I believed in him. I don't know why everybody else like kept thinking that the guys that they brought in from overseas were going to take the role. I mean, they had a lot of career saves, but you got to think about the clubhouse. They know this guy, they all trust this guy. Sure, he could lose the job and those guys step up, but why would you not give Suarez the chance? He's under contract. He's not going to hurt his arbitration. To me, it just made sense to at least give a shot at Suarez, versus like these guys that never pitched in the league and been pitching with smaller balls.
I heard something
Uh,
tonight that Suarez. Now I don't know if this is for the whole year because I think it was only 45 or 48 pitches, but they said so maybe it's for the year or maybe it's just his last 45 or 48 pitches. I can't remember the number, but they were all fastballs. He's thrown
oh
nothing.
yeah,
He's thrown nothing but fastballs.
the Lance Lynn method though, where there's seven
Yeah.
kinds of fastballs. You
But
know,
it's working, right? He's got at least 4 saves. I don't know. I don't remember. I don't know if he has more than that.
if you get good natural wild movement on your fastball, that's not a bad thing for a closer. If you don't quite know where it's going either, you can just no- then nobody knows. You kind of just put it up there and if it tails off in different directions.
I think he had
I
four
don't know if that's
saves
the case for him.
through last Sunday. So 4 saves plus whatever he had last week. So I'm sure he has more than four now. And he was a player of the week. So I mean that means he had at least two, right? I mean three probably. So he's probably got 6 or 7 saves now.
Yeah, I mean, no relievers lock solid except for maybe Diaz this year, but yeah, I definitely was a guy I believed in, and I wonder why everybody else was knocking him down in the rankings, for all these touts.
I
But
guess the
I feel,
uncertainty of the job, maybe
yeah,
everyone said.
that's what I was thinking. But
So
well, Finn, Finn the human,
so here's the stats now. Page is a perfect 15-0.
yeah, quite the start.
Incredible. I
Pitching,
mean, and you've won
it's
it
a pitching.
the
It's all
past three.
pitching.
You've won it the past 3 years now, right?
Yeah, three.
Oh my God, three
So
years
we'll do our
and you're
best to
15
jinx
and
it.
0. It's
Yeah,
unbelievable.
it's
The cows are actually in the basement with sombreros, but the cows are behind in points. So wait till next year. Climbed up, 2 spots to 10th. Hey, it's a start, right? I mean,
mhm.
there's no reason that they'll have to finish in last. I certainly felt like they were going to embarrass some of the older teams. Depends how many. So
Yeah.
I'm glad that they saw that, like, okay, yeah, I can do this thing. I can win some games here. The start was more coincidence than anything else, I think.
Yeah, but he oh no, never mind. I was looking at the wrong thing. I was looking at how close he was to not making that four and doing a three, but yeah. And of course that's not I know you will mention it, but those lollygaggers hanging in there. 12-3 is a very respectable beginning, man.
Yeah, I mean,
That's
I
everybody
feel
I'd be
like
happy with 12-3.
I let my league brethren down. Finishing 4 points out of the 6-0. Pushing you
Four
to
points was
five and
real.
one. But I left. McCutcheon was on my bench. He had like 12 points or something.
Uh
On Sunday. But
Hey, real quick, did you get a Patriot Day by anybody? Did you get
no,
anybody
I did it in time. It was 11 o'clock, and I was like, shit, I better copy this shit now. So
I
because
had a heck of a day and I didn't get the chance to, and I knew Patriot Day was coming, but I usually a podcast will remind me and I hadn't listened to any. So I didn't know it was Patriot Day. Usually I know it's coming. So
you mean for your team?
I left
Yeah.
Wong in for zero and I definitely would have started Jeffers and of course he hit a dinger on my bench. No one's crying for the guy that's got who's undefeated, but I got, you guys can huzzah that I lost 7 points on my bench for Patriot Day. So
Well, I was just talking about like commish duties. Like I copy and paste this over this, but when the games start, these numbers change, and then they don't agree with what our
hmm
3 Sunday stats were. So like it's a big nightmare for me. So I'm changing stuff as it's happening live. Like I can see it right in front of my eyes, like a double, all this stuff. So
Yeah, yeah,
okay, and I've done that at least a couple of times. So this year I did get it. I copy and pasted before 11 o'clock, and so I didn't have to deal with any of that stuff because I hate when that happens because I know it's happening and I just
yeah.
forget like, oh, I got to do it now. But anyway, so Buddha we already went over. Sombrero's the new leader and Pizzotti's the laggard. So well, Sombrero should be 4 and 11 according to set of 3 and 12, and Bizzotti should be 6 and 9 instead of 8 and 7. So, but those things will change. This is just random stuff. So instead of going to the ranking,
There's always seemed like one team gets like 4 or 5 more wins than they should have, and one team gets hurt 4 or 5 wins. But
yeah,
most
it's
everybody
funny.
else kind of evens out. But it always seems like somebody gets the shaft and somebody
Yeah,
gets lucky every.
except for the stuff by design. The Buddha stuff, being the Buddha king wouldn't be by design. But the lucky lagger stuff could be influenced by good games play or whatever.
Yeah, it's that
Yeah,
Sunday gamesmanship. Do
it
you
is
start a guy or not, or
it
do you
is
pull a
funny that
reliever?
yeah, it is funny. Like sometimes it varies by almost 10 games from the top to the bottom, and most of it is really just random luck. But instead of looking at the rates and ranks, because that'll take too much time, we can just look at hitting points. We can see who's hitting well. So Let's Play has the most hitting points. I don't know who's runner up. Spear, no, Hack,
That's
no,
a huge
Daddy,
difference, though. He's
Daddy.
so far ahead. If he had any pitching luck right now, he'd be way higher up.
Yeah, I mean he's got 19 games over, so that factors in too. But like, I guess this is a better way to look. Hits points per games played. The leaders are what? Um, Knockers, McBride. Well, no, Daddies. Looks like Daddies are top. And
Yeah, it's just that John started 25 more games,
yeah, yeah.
so that's why he's so far ahead. But yeah, that points per game played is that's what I always look at for guys too. Actually, my offense is pretty sleepy right now at 2.9. It's not they're not. I got a lot of guys that aren't really up to snuff right now. My pitching's carrying it.
Probably close to the average, right? I mean, the minimum
Yeah, it's
is six,
pretty
max
average
is
offense
2.
right now.
But one thing I want to say about the prediction model too. So I wasn't going to do this, but a way that it can be, you know, uh, exposed is like if you have a bunch of games over at on position players, and then you're a bunch of games under a catcher. So let's say you're 20 over at position, you're 20 under a catcher. the prediction model is going to say, oh, you're right on pace. You're at 0.
Oh, right. Yeah.
But actually, you're not going to catch up in those catching games probably, and
No.
you'll have to cut down on all those hits. So that's another, it's another way that it's not perfect. So so I just want to get it out there that I don't think I've created the perfect model. I'm just saying that unless I wanted to segregate games played for catchers and go through, I'd have to go through each team and I don't want to do that. Just quick and easy.
Yeah.
And then non-save hold pitching points. This was
This
the
is how
thing.
you go.
This was
This
the
is how
thing.
you get to 15-0 right here.
This
2.9 points per inning pitch. Got real lucky so far.
this was the thing that was screwed up a little bit. So we can see, Satch is the leader, by a pretty good margin in the non-save hold pitching points, and then saves and holds. I think that at least last week you were doing pretty well too. It's over here.
Yeah, well, it's a lot of Suarez pulling it.
So yeah, you have the most saves and holds. So your pitching points is, you're doing really well with your pitching. So you can see, compared to like look at that. That's 49 more points for you than I have. I think I have the fewest, right? Wait till next year and I have the fewest, and you have the most just saves and holds pitching points. Not
Well, you think that's just early bad luck, or who do you have? Who do you have in your as your closers right now?
well, it's just by design. I just don't have good production coming from there. So
I know you don't pay for it, but
hopefully I'll
oh, I
improve,
got
but
it. You got
I don't think
Will
it'll.
Smith, Lawrence in Colorado, and Stanek. Yeah.
Yeah, I just picked up Stanek, so yeah, Lauren. When you have a Colorado closer, that's probably not the greatest thing, and he's not even the clear cut closer. Maybe so it's pretty bad, I guess. And then
Do you
here's the
speculate on the next closer up guy, or you just kind of look to see when guys try to be quickest to the trigger when a guy gets the job?
well, I think last year I was able to protect closers. I went in and had a lot, 2 or 3 protected. This year I don't think
Mhm.
I had any closers protected, so I just kind of winged it. Basically, got whatever was left over in the auction. So and it's not working out
Well, you
so
can
good.
build it. You can build a reliever crew.
It's working out about as well as you'd expect that to work out. So
Last year was really stable, but you can build a relieving crew. Do you try to get guys in there when a reliever's got a day off? Do you try to put a different relief pitcher in there?
no, with the innings pitch now, I'm not even carrying an extra relief pitcher.
Mhm.
So so I'm just going with what I have.
Go with an extra starter.
I mean, I pay attention to the depth chart, so hopefully I'll get somebody good during the year, but that's certainly not a given. And there's been
Yeah.
guys that came available, but we're pretty quick with them, so they get
So
scuffed.
here's what I just a sidebar on that. An interesting thing I heard the other day was I've heard all the things about, get the eighth inning guy, get the right hander, get the guy with the highest velocity in the pen or the best stuff plus whatever. But this was a new one for relievers. Somebody talked about their platoon splits. And that was one of the reasons why Council wasn't committing to Alzolay. Or that's what they were speculating because he has really strong platoon splits, and that you don't necessarily want to have that from your like closer. You want your closer to be able to get both hands handed this out. So I never thought about looking at that, and I haven't yet. But it does seem like who's next in the bullpen. If you could figure that puzzle out, you could you could win a lot of fantasy baseball if you could
Yeah,
figure out bullpens a little bit better than everybody else. And so that was a nice piece of the puzzle I heard. It makes some sense, but then that means you have managers that that's their only reasoning. It's not always the only reason. So that
so
makes sense.
here's the predicted standings. It's only 13 and a half. I think last week was like 13.1% correlation, and now it's like 13 and a half. So it's barely more than last week. That's what this number is. Yeah, 13.5%. I think next week it jumps a little bit. Uh-oh, running out of time. uh, all right. All right, I'm running out of time. So worst comes to worst, we could do a two-parter. So we would just have part one and part two.
Sure, I'm in if you are. Cool.
So, but here it is right now, so you're predicted to have 91 wins. Like I said last week, I think it was 86 last week, something, we would go over on that. So it's still pretty tight here. 21 games separating first and last. And we know that won't happen. It'll be bigger than that. But it would be great if it wasn't, but it's always what, 40, 50 games or something like that.
You know what that means, Lou? It's the model thinks I'm going to go 76 and 65 the rest of the way. The model's saying I'm going to go
Yeah.
only 11 over the rest of the way. I'll take the over on that one personally.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I guess I need another refinement to the model. But this is just treating everybody the same. But actually, you can see like you're predicted what. So the way you've done so far, whatever these numbers are, 900 points above average, and then that gets tempered to being, 100 or something, right? So
So when you tempered it, is that like a regression to the mean kind of deal?
that's this number over the mean or below the mean,
Mhm.
wherever you are, times this number.
Okay.
It's only trusting 13% of that difference. So, but anyways, and this is what I had all ready for the podcast, but I don't know if we're going to have time for even this. But these are the top catchers so far. Contreras for McBride's, and Perez for Hack Wilson, Will Smith, Yainer Diaz for Let's Play, Melendez for the Knockers, and then got Matt Olson for at first base. We got Matt Olson for Satch, Josh Naylor for Hack, Jake Cronenworth for Let's Play. This burns me. I think I had him for 2 years and he never
That's
did
a
anything.
uh it's a real nice bounce back. I don't know. He must be healthy or something this year. He's really hitting the ball harder.
Because I even said like, why did they not just like keep Kim at short, Cronenworth at second, and then just sign a bargain first baseman?
Hmm.
But now Cronenworth is hitting well enough to be a first baseman, so who knows? Of course, there's Alonso and Christian Walker for the Dads. And at second, Spencer Steer. I put him at his best position here. Relatively right.
Yeah, he was getting not ridden off, but no one was giving him credit. Everybody was worried about the playing time in Cincinnati, but you know, uh,
Yeah, well,
baseball finds a way.
yeah, Marte
And plenty of
and
guys got injured in Cincinnati. He's
Martinez
not worried
injury
about
just
playing
took
time
care of
now.
that.
Right.
And Altuve still, still, still up in the top among the top second baseman, and Marcus Semien, Ozzy Albies, Ketel Marte, also not going anywhere. So pretty
Could be
familiar name
chalk.
beyond Steer, right?
Hmm.
Marte for the Dads. Let's see, third baseman. Let's play Machado. So they got Steer at second, top at second, and Machado top at third. Muncy for you,
His
Satch,
hitting is really good so far.
Austin Riley, Gunnar Henderson from McBride's, and Michael Bush, Cubby for the Dads,
Yeah. Talk about hot. He's been hitting dingers.
making the
Jeff's got to
top
be happy with that one.
making the top five.
This will be an interesting week for Bush. I'll make it quick, but they got a lot of lefties coming up this week. So it'll be interesting to see how much they start him against. I think they got 4 left-handers out of 7 this week.
So he'll get some rest probably.
Hmm.
And then
Maybe.
because he's a
Oh man, look at that 97 for
he's a lefty
Mets.
hitter, right? I don't know enough about
Oh,
Bush. He's a lefty hitter.
yeah, Bush is a lefty, so yeah, they got Garrett Cooper there, but they got enough moving pieces. They can leave him in because he's hot. They got other guys they can platoon.
I was like Cooper too. He just didn't stay healthy.
Yeah, he's a professional hitter. He's solid. Yeah, Betts, so man, that guy does it all. And pretty
90,
soon there'll be a little shortstop over in the corner there too, next to his name.
97. He might. I think Barrios has more than him, but it's just barely. I didn't know that
Yeah.
Betts had that many. 97. Wow. And Bobby Witt Jr. for the Dads. Ellie,
First rounders for a reason.
Ellie. I wasn't a big Ellie guy compared to the hype, but he's doing well. And
Yeah, the
then
inside the park home run after that monster blast, that was classic Ellie. That he did that earlier in the week,
Cal
and
said
that
Volpe,
blowout win.
Volpe and Kim. And Kim.
Yeah, Volpe's looking good. He's gotten to start off, and he's got he's changed his swing a little bit. It looks like Volpe is going to be a really good keeper. I heard some talk about, which shortstop would you want in New York, which was kind of surprising, considering the other one's Francisco Lindor. And Lindor's he's been real unlucky to start the season, but I would still take Lindor. But it's crazy to think that Volpe's, outplaying Lindor right now.
Well, especially because like what he's cost about 33 million less or something.
Yeah, yeah. Well, yeah, he's a rookie or second year guy.
And then Kim, who plays other infield positions too. So for the Cows, got that. I guess we're up against the time, so this could cut out any time. But if that happens, I'll send you an invite. We'll do a part two, okay?
Okay, I'm in.
If I'm allowed to.
No, sounds good.
I guess Jeff was right. I mean, I thought it'd be quicker, but I guess he was right. So left fielders Ozuna is off to a good start. Jordan Alvarez for Satch. Lourdes Gurriel Jr. for the Sombreros. So I know that Toronto's having trouble with their offense. They probably could use a little Lourdes Gurriel, right?
Yeah, Ward I was in on, but I just kind of ran out of room on the roster for him and money to match him after Trout. So good on Spear. But Taylor Ward was great 2 years ago. He got hit in the face last year
Yeah,
and he kind of wasn't all the same, but it looks like he's back. He ain't scared.
yeah. I've got him in that AL Roto League. I'll, I'll tell you about that if we have time. If I can ever get to a part two, I don't know what the rules are with this, but and then Jurickson Profar. I didn't even notice that. I didn't know he was off to such a good start for
He's
the
only good when he plays in San Diego, I guess. That's his spot. He loves San Diego.
not even a
And
great hitter's
he
park,
stunk
right?
in Colorado last year.
It's weird.
He loves that Pacific air.
Center field Adolis for the Dads, Tyler O'Neill for Hack, and I don't know if he's. I know he got stitches. I don't know if he's out for a while or.
O'Neill did.
Yeah, he ran into Devers ran into him in the outfield on a fly ball.
That's the
So
last thing Devers need. Devers was he's been nursing a shoulder, and then did that happen today?
yesterday.
Yeah,
So
that's
I'm thinking
Devers,
Devers, just basically let the outfielder take the ball.
right?
It's not like you're Ozzy or something. Like so.
No,
And then Reynolds and Nimmo, those gaggers. I don't think
and
this is
Trout.
right. I don't think Reynolds qualifies it right too. So I think this is wrong. I don't know what this is about.
Hmm.
And then right fielders, Juan Soto for the Dads, Teoscar for Satch. Knockers has a couple of real strong guys, right? Tatis and Tucker. And then Seiya Suzuki for Bizzotti.
Brian Reynolds qualifies at center as well, actually, Lou.
Yeah, but I
Left,
was
center, and right.
going to
He's
this, it
all
was like
three.
left. He qualifies all three?
He does now. I'm looking right at it.
Oh, because I thought this was wrong, but yeah, I didn't know that. I thought he was left and center. Well, it doesn't matter. I think I need him. I think I need him and Nemo at center. I don't think I have other guys. And then here's the right fielders. And then the last hitting position was I just called it the Otanis. So it's Shohei
Yeah.
by himself with 77 points
Well,
for the.
yeah, with JD Martinez not up yet, he doesn't have as many competition. Not that anybody could even get close. Suzuki just hit the IL with a oblique strain as well for Bizzotti. That
All
was a
right,
little
so it's
injury
telling
news
me
today.
I have less than a minute. So hopefully I'll be able to you know, send you a new invite and we'll do a part two. Okay.